What's going on, everybody? Hello, this is MD from ObserveMedia coming together with another rundown this week. Sorry it was a little bit late. We had lots of rendering issues. With that being said, Pacific Rim Uprising is coming out in just about 2 to 3 weeks, so I'm going to be giving you guys this rundown right here. Just again, if you did not see the video that we uploaded yesterday about the future of our channel, we will be doing more discussion-based videos and rundowns as they come. So if you haven't seen that, I'll leave a link right here in the description. And let's get started. So Pacific Rim opens up explaining the lay of the land. Monsters called kaiju appearing from a rift in another dimension begin to destroy cities. So in an effort to protect themselves, the world begins working together to create giant robots called Jaegers to fight them. Sounds pretty awesome, right? Jaegers use a neural response system that allows the robots to be mentally controlled by the drift. However, one brain wasn't enough to handle the stress, and they would separate the stress between two brains, right and left hemisphere. This also pushed them to use people who were usually siblings, as they had the most potential to be better Jaegers. They called this drift compatible. Eventually, humans became really good at actually killing the kaiju. We wake up with an alarm of an oncoming kaiju attack appearing, and a young pilot and his brother waking up in order to be its opposition. Yancey and Raleigh suit up and head out where they fight the kaiju. Through their arrogance, they believe they have killed the kaiju, however, it rises back from the depths and steals Yancey away. Raleigh uses the last of his strength to finish off the kaiju, and then Stacker Pentecost, also known as Marshall, the one in charge, walks away from the control scene with disappointment in his eyes. We see Stacker talking to his superiors, where they tell him they are cutting his funding and going with a different plan of defense, the Wall. After Raleigh maroons himself in a port town in Alaska, he joins the traveling labor force for the Wall over the next 5 years. They see on television that kaiju can in fact break through the Wall. Stacker then shows up to see Raleigh, eventually convincing Raleigh to come to Hong Kong and join the final assault. Now upon landing, Raleigh meets Mako Mori, a Japanese expert in the restoration of the Mark III Jaeger that Raleigh will pilot. As well as he meets the eccentric Newt and groggy Herman, the heads of the research division. After this, we go through and meet the other Jaegers and their pilots. Stacker explains that he has a plan to drop a nuke on the breach where the kaijus come from. Raleigh is skeptical, saying that they tried this before, but Stacker asks him to trust him. Stacker meets with his research team. Herman has some predictions about the breach, and Newt believes that they should come into contact with the kaiju. Stacker is in more favor of Herman's plan. Mako then shows Raleigh the Mark III Jaeger named the Gypsy Danger. Raleigh admires the machine, and then he is reunited with his old friend Tendo. After a short meeting with Raleigh, Mako meets up with Stacker and tries to convince him that she should be piloting the Gypsy, and Stacker denies her, saying that revenge is like an open wound and you can't take that level of emotion into the drifts. Later on, they have a couple sparring matches to determine who Raleigh's partner will actually be. Raleigh pushes for Mako to make a try, and she does phenomenally. Raleigh declares that she will be his partner, but Stacker has other plans and continues to deny them. Going against orders, Newt tries to go with his plan of drifting with the part of the kaiju brain. He is knocked out and Herman finds him unconscious. We also see that Stacker is on borrowed time and he takes pills in order to suppress a certain illness he has. Stacker appears before Mako and tells her to get ready. At first, things seem to work well between Raleigh and Mako. They are working very well. However, at this time, Mako starts to get stuck inside of a memory and she gets out of alignment. Meanwhile, Newt explains to Stacker that he believes the kaiju are world conquerors with a hive mind, that they've been here before when the dinosaurs existed, but the atmosphere was too pure for them, so now they show up after the planet has been polluted and it works better for their biology. Back in the Gypsy, Mako loses control and endangers the lives of everyone around them, and Raleigh tries to stop her, but she is too far gone. Tengo pulls the plug and the Jaeger is turned off. Newt finds someone in charge of the black market named Hannibal Chow for another kaiju brain so that he may drift with it and get more information. After a heated argument, Chuck and Raleigh get into a fist fight that gets broken up by Stacker. Stacker and Raleigh have a conversation where Stacker grounds Mako. After she leaves the room, Raleigh reveals he knows why she's being grounded. We're thrown back into Mako's memory of losing her family when she sees Stacker emerge from his Jaeger after saving Mako from the kaiju. After their conversation, 2 more kaiju emerge, and Stacker sends out 2 Jaeger to fight the oncoming kaiju. They both end up meeting their end, forcing Hansen and Chuck to step in. After being overwhelmed, Hansen is injured, and the kaiju entering the city force the gypsy to step into battle. The gypsy barely is able to take care of the 2 kaiju, however, when Raleigh and Mako returned, they are applauded and praised. Meanwhile, after some runaround circumstances, Newt tries to secure a brain from the dead kaiju when they find out that the recently deceased kaiju actually is pregnant. The baby kaiju ends up eating Hannibal in hilarious fashion. We find out that Stacker's exposure to the Jaegers has caused his illness. He said the doctors say that if he uses a Jaeger again, he'll die. Newt with Herman decide to share the neural load of the baby kaiju's brain. Stacker suits up. He gives a very impactful speech that I think I'll just leave right here.
Today, at the edge of our hope, at the end of our time, we have chosen not only to believe in ourselves, but in each other. Today, there's not a man nor woman in here that shall stand alone. Not today. Today, we face the monsters that are at our door and bring the fight to them. Today, we are canceling the apocalypse.
After this, Chuck says goodbye to his father and his dog as they prepare for the battle. Upon reaching the breach, Herman and Newt run in and inform everyone that the breach works in a way that reads the kaiju's signature and is the only way it will open. Stacker makes a plan where he sacrifices himself in order to give way for the gypsy with its nuclear core to destroy the breach. With Mako's oxygen low, Raleigh releases her first, and then after engaging the gypsy's nuclear core, sends him up as well. The gypsy's explosion destroys the breach and Hansen stops the clock. Mako and Raleigh share a moment as the screen cuts to black. Well, there you go, guys. That is our rundown of Pacific Rim leading into Pacific Rim Uprising. I'm super excited about this film. This is actually, I actually have avoided this movie for such a long time, and then finally I actually got a chance to see it, and I absolutely loved it. So let us know what you think. Give us some idea for some discussion videos as well. I think we have a good bit going forward, but we always like to hear what your guys' ideas are. So with that being said, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Thanks so much, guys, and we'll see you guys later.